What's up? This is your favorite sorcerer, Aurelius Opax, with a new video in my series of video blogs that I've been doing called Capstones of the Occult. To give you some context, Capstones of the Occult means the following. Okay, any field of knowledge is pyramidal. Okay, the top of the pyramid is senior to the lower part of the pyramid. In order to use the bottom 80%, which is usually very, very specialized and sometimes random data that can be important, but in order to make use of that, you gotta know the top 20%. Without the top 20%, you will not be able to use the bottom 80. And even if you only know the top 20, you will still be able to get a massive amount of results, you see? And the field of knowledge of magic, witchcraft, the occult works in the very same way. That's why the ancient Egyptians were fans of the symbol of the pyramid, because it is a symbol for knowledge and wisdom. Now, in this series, I'm going to give you the capstones, meaning the top, 20%. I don't know if I'm going to give you all of them. However, my attempt is to give you a lot, okay? To give you a whole new understanding of magic based on the capstones. If you haven't watched my other two that I did before this is number 3. Go back and look for them because they're going to be very, very helpful as well. Now, with that being said, let's go into capstone number 3, which is going to be called when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Okay, let me explain. See, when you're confronted with any problem, any situation, any obstacle, and you're trying to solve what you're confronted with, the very first thing that you should do is you should change your lens that you use to interpret or look at reality, okay? I think it was Einstein who said that a problem cannot be solved from the level of consciousness where it was created, right? And this is kind of like a similar thing where before you can change a situation, you first have to interpret it in a way that is conducive to the result that you want, right? I think that's, easy to understand. I mean, it really makes sense, right? So there's more to that though. It's not just something that happens in your mind. It is something that actually has an effect on reality. See, the universe is based on the laws of quantum physics. It works based on quantum physics, where the observer has an effect on how the system, or the observed particles, things, whatever you want to call it, the system reacts. So the universe will always answer the question that you ask. Okay? Now, this is also something that has implications for your divination, of course. So you've got to be careful about what you ask in your divination, because you're going to get the answer that you want. But the bottom line is this. Most people think in a way that is not conducive to the result that they want, to the outcome that they want. Okay? Now, let's assume you do that, meaning you have a situation and you take a step back and you're able to use the right filter, meaning you're focused on a solution, you're solution based. Yeah, this will show you a completely different reality. Okay, now if this was it, this wouldn't be this channel, because of course it goes way deeper. This is witchcraft. Now let me tell you what, the mind has different parts to it. Okay, the mind has different parts to it. Different traditions call them differently. In the yogic tradition, we have the chitta, for instance. The chitta is a very, very important part. The chitta is very much part of your spine, and it's also connected to the life force within and without. Okay, we live in a field of energy that has prana in it. Okay, and wherever you direct that prana, you will cause a manifestation. Now, let me explain. The chitta, or the the life force becomes activated once the mind as a whole becomes focused on something for an extended period of time, okay? So the chitta is kind of like the fuel. It's the battery that allows you to manifest things and to change physical reality in your spells and your witchcraft. Then there's another part, which let's call it, to make it very simple, it's just the plastic mind, or the nebulous mind, which can be changed into all kinds of different things. You can change it into literally anything, because your mind can experience everything and anything. That's what we generally call our imagination. Yeah? But the imagination is more than just a private little theater that you have in your mind. Your imagination, which is part of your aura, or rather is a function of the amorphous, or the part of the aura that you can shape, is actually a thought form producing thing, okay? Once you become one with what it is that you want to create, meaning you experience it fully for an expanded period of time, then the chitta, meaning your life force, or your, the energy will activate and fuel and funnel life force into the imagination that you just created. You see? And when there's a sufficient amount of energy in that thought form that you created, it will manifest for you, okay? But what is important is to understand that this will only activate after a couple of minutes of complete immersion in the imagination, okay? So how do you manifest things? How do you change the world around you through your witchcraft? First of all, you got to connect the different parts of your mind. How is that done? Through a meditative state. And then your entire experience must be what it is that you want. Okay, I promise you. A lot of people talk about visualization these days. A lot of people talk about creative imagination, but they've never actually used their imagination in the way that it has to be used. Your internal experience must be completely what it is that you want to manifest. It must be that. You must be one with it. Okay, it can't be just random images. You have to be one with it. You feel everything. You see the images, you feel the energy, you feel you're in the experience. Yourself, by the way, when let's say the spell includes you, yourself, by the way, you will usually see from the outside, from a third person perspective. You will have an objective view on the situation that you're manifesting. Okay? Now to wrap this up. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. For that, you must first reshape your mind, which will become the experience of what it is that you want. And when you do that for an expanded period of time, with practice, the time shortens. But let's say 5-6 minutes straight, no other experience, then boom, the chitta will activate and you will fuel and funnel life force into the manifestation. And then, this is a law of the universe. You don't need the authority or the blessing of a god form or a priest or any of that shit. This is a law. It's a natural law in the universe. What you demand from the universe in the way that I just described will be yours. It has to be given because you're using the mechanism that is in place for you to use. Yeah, I hope you're going to make use of this. This is it for today's video. And there will be more capstones of the occult. Let's see when I get to it. Maybe tomorrow, maybe some day later. To check out my other content, click the links below this video in the description. You can get consultations with me. You can also get a coaching with me, a mentoring program. I have other programs where you can learn a lot. And with that being said, I'm out. Peace.